Hello and welcome to Midday Update. Coming up are the headlines for the day. Sand race for professionals and amateurs to be held in North Al Sharqiyah. Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry elections begin today. Negligence by medical personnel will not be tolerated in Oman, says Minister of Health. WHO to identify pathogens that could cause future outbreaks and pandemics. Elon Musk announces holding off relaunch of Twitter's Blue Verified. Indonesia, earthquake in Cianjur kills 162 and injures hundreds. Messi ready for last shot at World Cup glory. Big names missing, but World Cup holders France still looks strong at start of title defense. Those are the headlines. Now for the local stories for the day. Sand running race will be held in the Vilayat of Bidya, North Al Sharqiyah Governorate on Friday, November 25, 2022. A statement issued online by Ministry of Heritage and Tourism said the following. The Heritage and Tourism Department in North Al Sharqiyah Governorate, in cooperation with the Quick Challenge Company, is organizing the sand running race on Friday, November 25, 2022 in Bidya for a distance of 10 kilometers for professionals and 5 kilometers for amateurs. The start and finish of the race will be at the Desert Nights camp in the Vilayat of Bidya. For registration and inquiries, contact the numbers 9522 2519, 9724 7557 and 9953 3694, the ministry added. The Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry elections for the period 2022-2026 began to select 21 members from among 122 candidates from various governorates of the Sultanate of Oman, public shareholding companies and foreign investor companies. This morning, private sector institutions began casting their votes to select the candidates for the Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry elections for the period 2022-2026. They numbered 122 candidates from various governorates, public shareholding companies and foreign investor companies. It is scheduled that the voting, in which 14,977 institutions registered in the electoral register participate, will continue until 6 p.m. today, after which the votes will be counted electronically and the result of the winners will be announced. In order to make it easier for voters and not to restrict the voting process to a specific polling station, all voters were allowed to vote from any polling center in the various governorates. Voting machines have been allocated in the governorates of Muscat, Dhofar and North Al for public shareholding companies and foreign investor companies. Among the conditions for the election, the voter must be a holder of an entrepreneurship card issued by the Small and Medium Enterprises Development Authority or have one Omani worker and have paid the annual fee for membership of the Chamber until October 31, 2022. The Sultanate of Oman has a specialized committee at the national level to adjudicate cases of deficiency or negligence in medical services. Besides, there are committees in every hospital to handle such cases. Medical personnel found guilty of erroneous treatment or negligence are dealt with firmly, the Minister of Health said. The Minister of Health, Dr. Hilal Ali Al Sabti, said errors in judgment or the line of treatment can be possible as the medical personnel are human beings and not machines, but negligence cannot be condoned, and in such cases where negligence is proved beyond doubt, the medical personnel have been taken to task rather firmly. He said that health workers are dealt with firmly in cases of medical negligence as they are ambassadors of health. The government, he said, is aware of this aspect and trying its best to build trust between the ministry and the health workers on the one hand and between the health workers and the community on the other. Al-Sabti pointed out that besides the committees at the Ministry of Health level, there are committees at Sultan Qaboos University, the Armed Forces Hospital, the Police Hospital and the Dewan Hospital. These committees, besides looking into routine complaints, look into cases which require to be treated abroad. Additionally, these committees requisition the services of specialists from other countries for cases requiring their expertise. Those are the local stories. We'll take a short break and we'll be back with international news. Stay tuned.
Play, you listen.
You talk, we listen.
You got something to say? We want to hear it.
95.4 in Muscat.
And 91 in Salalah.
Music, news, views, and everything in between.
TFM.
TFM.
Let's talk.
Oman's largest online supermarket now has no minimum order limit. From grocery to household items, Rafiq has everything that you want. Enjoy worry-free shopping with over 8,000 products to choose from and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. Rafiq, You order, we deliver.
Welcome back to Midday Update, now for the international stories. The World Health Organization is launching a global scientific process to update the list of priority pathogen agents that can cause outbreaks or pandemics to guide global investment, research and development, especially in vaccines, tests and treatments. In a statement, the WHO on Monday said that starting with a meeting held last Friday, November 18, WHO is convening over 300 scientists who will consider the evidence on over 25 virus families and bacteria, as well as disease X. Disease X is included to indicate an unknown pathogen that could cause a serious international epidemic. The experts will recommend a list of priority pathogens that need further research and investment. The process will include both scientific and public health criteria, as well as criteria related to socioeconomic impact, access, and equity. The list was first published in 2017 and the last prioritization exercise was done in 2018. The current list includes COVID-19, Crimean Kong hemorrhagic fever, Ebola virus disease and Marburg virus disease, Lassa fever, Middle East respiratory syndrome or MERS, and severe acute respiratory syndrome or SARS, Nipah and henipaviral disease, Rift Valley fever, Zika and disease X. Targeting priority pathogens and virus families for research and development of countermeasures is essential for a fast and effective epidemic and pandemic response. Without significant R&D investments prior to the COVID-19 pandemic, it would not have been possible to have safe and effective vaccines developed in record time, said Dr. Michael Ryan, Executive Director of WHO's Health Emergency Program. For those pathogens identified as priority, the WHO R&D Blueprint for Epidemics has developed R&D roadmaps which lay out knowledge gaps and research priorities. Where relevant, target product profiles which inform developers about the desired specifications for vaccines, treatments and diagnostic tests are developed. Efforts are also made to map, compile and facilitate clinical trials to develop these tools. Complementary efforts such as to strengthen regulatory and ethics oversight are also considered. Twitter CEO Elon Musk on Tuesday announced that he is putting on hold the relaunch of Blue Verified until there is high confidence of stopping impersonation. He made the announcement through a tweet. Elon Musk stated that Twitter might use a different color check for organizations and individuals. Taking to his official Twitter handle, Musk said the following: "Holding of relaunch of Blue Verified until there is high confidence of stopping impersonation. We'll probably use different color check for organizations than individuals." After taking over the microblogging site, Musk had announced the ability for users to purchase a blue tick verified through Twitter Blue. Despite getting internal warnings from Twitter's own trust and safety staff, Musk's plan resulted in the impersonation of high-profile accounts, including Twitter's advertisers. After Musk took over Twitter, the microblogging site has been adding and removing separate grey check marks on high-profile accounts without explaining the reason. On Monday, Elon Musk told Twitter employees that the company will not relaunch its paid verification subscription, Twitter Blue, until they are confident about significant impersonations not happening, sources cited recording his remarks. Last week, Elon Musk said that his $8 per month Blue subscription will be made available on November 29th. However, in his meeting with employees, he confirmed that the timing of the launch of Blue Verified was not clear. Meanwhile, Elon Musk in a tweet on November 22nd claimed that Twitter has added 1.6 million daily active users in the past week and called it an all-time high. Musk tweeted, "Twitter added 1.6 million daily active users this past week, another all-time high." The death toll in a powerful earthquake that rattled Indonesia's main island of Java on Monday has increased to 162 people while injuring hundreds of others. The rescuers are searching for survivors trapped under the rubble amid a series of aftershocks, reported sources. The epicenter of the 5.6 magnitude earthquake was near the town of Cianjur in mountainous West Java, about 75 kilometers southeast of the capital Jakarta. The region is home to over 2.5 million people. The tremors destroyed many buildings and were felt in Cianjur in West Java at a depth of 10 kilometers. Hundreds of buildings were damaged, including an Islamic boarding school, a hospital, and other public facilities. The toll is expected to rise further, but no estimates were immediately available. The residents of Cianjur live mostly in towns of single and two-story buildings and in smaller homes in the surrounding countryside, sources reported. Many of the dead were public school students who had finished their classes for the day and were taking extra lessons at several Islamic schools when they collapsed, West Java Governor Ridwan Kamil said as he announced the new death toll in the remote area. Kamil said more than 13,000 people whose homes were heavily damaged were taken to evacuation centers. He said on his Instagram page that 326 others have been injured, sources reported. Indonesia's National Disaster Mitigation Agency (BNPB) still lists the toll at 62 and rescuers were searching for 25 believed to be trapped under the rubble. Its spokesperson said the search would continue through the night, sources reported. Due to miscounting, officials offered wildly fluctuating death tolls after an Indonesian stadium disaster last month. Meanwhile, footage from TV showed structures in Cianjur reduced almost entirely to rubble as worried residents huddled outside. In 2 hours after the quake, 25 aftershocks were recorded, sources reported, adding there was a danger of landslides, especially in the event of heavy rain. The country of more than 270 million people is frequently struck by earthquakes, volcanic eruptions and tsunamis because of its location on the Ring of Fire, an arc of volcanoes and fault lines in the Pacific Basin. Those are the international stories. We'll take a short break and we'll be back with sports news. Stay tuned.
Play, you listen.
You talk, we listen.
You got something to say? We want to hear it.
95.4 in Muscat.
And 91 in Salalah.
Music, news, views, and everything in between.
TFM.
TFM.
Let's talk.
Oman's largest online supermarket now has no minimum order limit. From grocery to household items, Rafiq has everything that you want. Enjoy worry-free shopping with over 8,000 products to choose from and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. Rafiq, you order, we deliver.
Welcome back to Midday Update. Now for the sports news. Lionel Messi has downplayed fears about his physical fitness, declaring himself ready for Argentina's 2022 FIFA World Cup opener against Saudi Arabia on Tuesday. The PSG forward had raised concerns in the Argentine press after he was seen training separately from the rest of the Argentina squad last week. When pressed on whether he had prepared differently to his Albiceleste teammates, Messi replied the following: "No, it's a different time in this season, with much fewer games. I've always felt good with continuity of games, playing regularly so that I get into a rhythm. That's what I tried until I got here at the start of the World Cup. I did nothing special this time. I took care of myself and worked like I have my whole career. It will probably be my last World Cup, my last chance to achieve the big dream I have." Lionel Scaloni's men are undefeated in their past 35 games, a sequence that includes the 2021 Copa America final against Brazil. They're just 2 games shy of the record for the longest run of international matches without defeat, currently held by Italy. Messi will be playing in his 5th World Cup, having appeared on football's biggest stage for the first time at the 2006 tournament in Germany. The closest he has come to lifting the Jules Rimet trophy was in 2014, when Argentina lost the final against Germany following an extra goal from Mario Götze. Messi said he appreciated the support of fans from other countries, many of whom have adopted Argentina as their favorite team in the hope the 7-time Ballon d'Or winner can write a glorious final chapter to his glittering career. Messi said the Albiceleste's recent run of success means they enter this World Cup feeling less pressure than in Russia 4 years ago. World Cup holders France will kick off their title defence on Tuesday with what looks as if it should be a relatively straightforward opener against the Australian side that booked the ticket to Qatar with a nerve-jangling playoff win on penalties against Peru. The French have suffered several injury setbacks, with long-term injuries forcing N'Golo Kante and Paul Pogba to miss the finals, while Karim Benzema's thigh injury saw him fly back to Spain on Sunday morning. The absence of Benzema weakens an attack that also lost Christopher Nkunku, but a look at the firepower that Didier Deschamps will be able to field against the Aussies implied that if anyone can afford to suffer injuries, it's the French, and that this is probably why Deschamps has opted against calling a late replacement into his squad. Kylian Mbappe is a certain starter, with Olivier Giroud and Antonio Griezmann likely to be in the starting 11 at FC Barcelona's Ousmane Dembele also have opportunities. Giroud is likely to be especially motivated as his 49 goals for France leave him just 2 weeks behind Thierry Henry to become his country's all-time record goal scorer. The only question mark over France is in their recent form, as they won just 1 of their 5 UEFA Nations League games in June and September, although that could perhaps be put down to tiredness after a frantic fixture calendar. The Australians arrive in Qatar having only made it out of the group stage once in 5 attempts, with Goes side making it to the last 16 in 2006 when current coach Graham Arnold was Hiddings' assistant. They have also been affected by injury, with young Melbourne City winger Marco Tilio called up to replace Martin Boyle, and Arnold has highlighted the 21-year-old's performances in the Tokyo Olympics and also in the A-League this season. Australian goalkeeper Matt Ryan has spent much of the season on the coach at Copenhagen, but this will be the third World Cup and his experience will be vital on what is likely to be a busy night. Those are the local, international and sports stories for the day. For more updates, stay tuned and keep watching TTV.
You've just heard the live feed from the TTV studios on TFM 95.4. Let's talk.